Hello everyone, this is Melody with Design by Melody at designbymelody.com. Today I'm sharing the supplies that I had left from my Studio Calico October kit. I actually ended up with 7 layouts and 3 cards, and then I also made a monthly title card, which if you haven't seen it, go to my YouTube channel. It's Designed by Melody, and you can see all the title cards that I created for the 2013 scrapbook that I have. Just sorting through the supplies here, I have a bunch of certain things left, and it's just because there were so many of them in the kit, and then a couple of other things, but primarily I used all of the papers, and then I have a couple of the embellishments left. First, I'm just going to show you the papers. This pink diagonal one is a little piece of a manufacturer's strip that was left. Of the solid cardstock, I have this card base that I made. I started to use it and then stopped using it, and then I have these 2 small pieces of this cream paper. I have 2 small pieces of this orange paper. But that's it. Of all the papers I have left, these are pretty much it. And I'm just going to keep these 2 in the card base that I set off to the side. This grid piece, these 2 strips of the grid piece were actually a piece of 12 by 12 pattern paper that I cut off the edges and then matted it. So I have those left. This is the seam binding. I used all of the teal, and this is, I believe, the olive color. I started to use this on a card, so I tied a bow, and I just couldn't end up making it work with anything else in the kit, so I'm going to put it off to the side and keep it for something later. Of these 3 frames, or this piece of 3 things that you broke apart, I used the middle frame, but did not use the 2 other pieces. There were 3 paper clothespins. I used 1 of them. There were a boy and a girl badge. I used the boy. I used a significant number of these letters, but then I ended up running out of certain letters and I had a hard time making titles, so I've kept them. Of course, I have the stamp. I have a number of the rub-ons left. I used a lot of them, probably a third, almost a half of them. And then I have a ton of these perforated sayings, and I use them a lot, and I really like them, so I'm going to keep them in my stash. There were just a lot that came in this, and didn't have a chance to use all of them, but I really like them. And then of the alphas, the small sticker alphas, I used probably a fourth of them or so, but since I've finished using the kit, I've actually used them on a few other things as well. So like I said, I have 7 layouts, 3 cards, and then 1 title card that I used. Now I'm going to share the finished projects. Like I said, I had 7 layouts and 3 cards. This is the first layout, and there is a process video for this that's already posted on my YouTube channel. This is a layout where I used lots of scraps, and I showed a way to incorporate different patterns into one layout. The second one is called Fun and Games. You can see I use those green alphas for a title, and there's a process video for this as well. If it's not posted yet, it will be shortly. This next one is called A Father-Son Story, and there is also a process video for this, and like I said, if it's not posted yet, it will be shortly. You can see where I use that seam binding, the teal seam binding in this as well. This next one is called Halloween Monkey, and there is also a process video for this. This first 4 layouts, they're process videos for these. And this one in particular, I used a couple additional things to the kit. Alright, this one is called What a Wonderful Day, and there is not a process video for this, so I'm going to show you a couple close-ups of each section. I used some border strips here along the top and the bottom. And these are just leftover pieces of some 12 by 12 papers. On the right side here at the bottom, I used some different doilies. And I will post the specific supplies I use for these layouts that are not posted in process videos on my blog if you would like to see what I used. You can see here at the bottom of the photo at the top of the bottom of the photo on the layout, I used a few of those sentiments that you could that were perforated. Right here is another closer up look at them, and I just used my regular stapler to adhere them or attach them, as well as a bit of interest, added a bit of interest. There were lots of square things on this layout, so I use these doilies to kind of balance out all the harsh corners. Especially with a pattern on the paper, it was a whole bunch of arrows or triangles, so adding these circular elements helped. All right, this next layout is called So Grown Up. Again, I use those green alphas. There's not a process video for this, so I'm going to show you again a couple close-ups. Just used a couple of the different solid pieces of cardstock in the kit to make a couple layers. Since the photo had a lot of bold colors in it, I wanted to tone down the green background and the bold colors of the photos with just solid papers as the base. Using a border strip, a manufacturer border strip, to ground the photo. You can see that boy flare badge that I used in this from the kit in this layout, as well as a couple different stickers and cut aparts from various manufacturers that I had in my stash. And again, I will post all of the supplies I used in these layouts in the blog post that coordinates with this video at www.designbymelody.com. You can see a few more of those sentiments that I used from the kit, as well as some more doilies to create another embellishment cluster. This layout is called Such a Character, and Kaylin always, when he gets in a mood where he's just extremely sassy, and if you say to him, "No, Kaylin," he'll go, "No, Mommy." So that's what he was telling me here. He was pointing at me and going, "No, Mommy, you stop it." So just captured his true personality here in this photo. And this white piece that you see under the photo and under that textured black piece is actually a piece of, it's like velvety piece of paper. It was in my stash. I don't know who made it or anything like that, but it was a nice layer to add here. Since the photo was not matted on another piece of paper, it added texture. And I also used a piece of vellum under that, just adding a couple very slight textures, and it adds a little bit more interest to the layout. And some of those rub-ons. I used all of the sentiments that were with those gold rub-ons, and then I used a lot of the stars as well. I really actually like these perforated sentiments. I wasn't sure how I was going to use them, but I really like them. This is a Happy Day card. There is a process video for this one as well. You can see that frame that I used from those pieces, those 3 pieces of chipboard pieces. Alright, this is a card I did, and you can see there's a lot of embossing on here, but they're different snowflakes, and it says Warmest Winter Wishes. It's a very simple card, but I like the way the wood grain mixed with the snowflakes, which you can see a little bit better here. This was a clear embossing powder with glitter in it, as well as just a white embossing powder with the small snowflakes. I really like the look of this card. I probably will make more. And then this last card is actually a tri-folded card, or it really has 2 folds in it, not 3 folds, but 2 flaps on the front. And it just says The Best of Friends. Very simple card, but you can see here how it's folded to be able to be opened on both sides. Alright, and that's all I have. Oh, I do have one more. I'm sorry. This is the monthly title card coming up here that I used this kit to create as well. And I do have a process video that shows how I do these monthly cards and how I plan on using them. But that's it. Thank you for joining me. If you need more information, please visit designbymelody.com. Thank you.